And a good segue, Nick, for you. I mean, you have been doing this, almost as much as we have worked together before. What are the sort of skills that you look for, right? When someone wants to be a part of this function and team, is it a traditional systems engineering knowledge that you need, or do you need something more niche, bespoke to be a kind of an expert in doing data analysis for autonomous vehicles?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great question. I would say for my organization in particular, I would say we have a pretty diverse set of skills and backgrounds. I mean, coming from a geologist, I think for me, um, some of what I look for are people with varying scientific backgrounds, right? So maybe they don't have a background in robotics or a background in performance evaluation necessarily, but they've got critical thinking skills that they've developed through their education or direct experience working in sort of a science-based field. Now, I think in I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about scale and and other development in a bit. But I think an important part is if you want to start really digging into your data, you are absolutely going to need some people who have data science or data analytics background. So some of this, pure skill sets, I guess, for a few people on my team, skill writing some code in Python or working with R, SQL, for example, right? So some of the data analysts on my team who are crucial to actually sort of taking the data that the rest of my team is creating and putting it in a way that putting it in dashboards or manipulate it in such a way that it's usable for our partners, internal partners, external partners. They rely heavily on their technical skills from that perspective. Now, certainly in an organization too, depending on how your org's actually set up, you may, like you mentioned, also need some systems engineering folks as well. The way that Aurora is set up is that we actually have a separate systems engineering and test engineering org. But yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, one of the individuals I've worked in the past for Triage, she was a graphic designer and she was one of the best, right? So nothing to do with robotics, with autonomous vehicles, but the creativity and sort of hierarchical problem solving from the initial symptom to the diagnosis to the end root cause and even corrective action sometimes. I mean, I'm surprised by the sort of teams I've led in the past where someone who has no experience in actually autonomy engineering, they have recommended solutions, which then you have engineers who can go and implement that in their ML models. So it's pretty diverse, and we'll continue to talk about how these different skill sets sort of fit into one another.